So it was released last night, Sunday night. As I said, I think I said 500. It's 370 pages long, 370. The point man on the bill is Democratic Senator Chuck Schumer of New York. There is a reason why he is the point man, and I will get there. A new CNN poll just out shows 70% of Americans disapprove of the way President Biden is handling immigration and the border. That's why Schumer is involved here. He and the other Democrats want to give Biden cover on the border issue because Biden may lose re-election because it's a debacle. That's two becauses, but the border is impacting the Democrats so much they may lose in November. That's better. Okay. Incidentals, here we go. $650 million for a border wall. That's not nearly enough, and we don't know where that wall would go. It's a little bit, but there's no way. And we don't know how long it would take or any of that. All right? 3,000 miles of border, San Ysidro to Brownsville. All right? Now, here is the real kicker on this. Migrant crossings, 5,000 per day on a given week, all right, would allow the Department of Homeland Security to shut down the border. Okay, but who's going to do the count? It's a 3,000-mile border. That's impossible. No one could do that. So we got Eagle Pass, we got Tucson, we got the San Diego sec. There's no way. So that's a fantasy right there, and that's important. Okay, they're going to stop some of the catch and release for single men, but not nearly enough. Okay, so when migrants come over, they have to present themselves now for asylum in U.S. ports of entry. That is the law now. That is the portion of immigration law that President Biden disobeyed. Flat out disobeyed it. So they're going to go back to that. If you are a family and you present yourself at a port of entry and say, we need asylum, you're in. You're in. For 90 days at least, under supervision. What supervision? You can't supervise that many people. Now, the cartels, they're reading this 370-page bill right now. They're going, okay, we'll bundle the migrants into a family. Many of them have no ID, don't know who they are, certainly don't have passports. So we'll bundle them up. Hey, I'm the Morales family, in. Unaccompanied minors are in automatically. And where do they go? Nobody knows. Okay, now the minor thing, that should happen. If children wander across the border, you can't just throw them back in the Rio Grande. I'm for that. Minors admit and then try to figure out who they are and why they're here. Okay. The bill does not detain people at all, unless you're a lawbreaker or on the terror watch list. So it's either you can't come in and then they put you back to Mexico, whereupon the next day you try again someplace else, or if you're bundled as a family, you're in. Does that make any sense to you? So my question is, who does this bill help? Does this help you, the American citizen? Doesn't help me. It helps some migrants, and I feel sorry for them. We've already accepted more than 10 million of them in 3 years under Joe Biden. Okay, can't accept the entire world's population. But who does the bill help? Who? No one. No American. And with the massive fiscal problems in New York City and LA and Chicago, everywhere, Shouldn't we have a cooling off period so that these municipalities can get the migrants processed? Now, today, Joe Biden could write an executive order stopping all migration at the southern border for 6 months. Doesn't need the bill. He can just do it. But he won't do it because the progressive left doesn't want that. I wrote a column on it, bordering on insanity. It's on BillO'Reilly.com, and it tells you why the progressive left wants the open border. I'm not going to get into it now because I got too much other stuff to do. Please go there and read the column. Democrats know they are in trouble. So this bill is designed to then deflect into the Republican circles because very few Republicans are going to support this bill. They can't support it. It doesn't have enough heft to make a difference. If this bill passed, the chaos would increase. There's no way what are you going to do, a clicker for 5,000 people a day? Come on. The judges are already overwhelmed. Oh, we're going to speed up the asylum process. How? How? You already got 6 million backlog on it? This is just a fantasy world. So what's going to happen is that the House will not even vote on the bill. Senate will, and it'll pass in a Democratic Senate. Primarily, they're hoping that it'll take attention away from Biden, put it on the Republicans, who are then going to be the evil, bad people. And the corporate media, allied with the Democratic Party, will then pick that up. You'll see it tonight. I'm going to go on News Nation at 7 tonight with Leland Vittert. Okay? I know he'll ask me about how mean Republicans, but it's on Wednesday when I go on at 8 o'clock with Cuomo, who is a Democrat. Then he's going to, look at the terror. And I'll handle it. I know exactly how to handle it. Because if I'm sitting there in Congress, I don't vote for this because it's not good for the American people. It's nothing to do with Biden. I already told you that Biden's the most incompetent president in modern times, by far. By far. Okay? Nothing to do with him. If you're going to pass a bill and spend all this money, $1.2 billion or whatever, and it'll be double that, believe me. It's got to help us somehow. Everything is expensive these days, you know that. The government is printing trillions of dollars and consumer prices higher than ever. If the government continues its printing and spending, the dollar could continue its free fall and lose its coveted role as the world reserve currency. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But there are a few things you can do right now. American Hartford Gold can show you how to protect your money, your retirement, your hard-earned savings against inflation by helping you diversify a portion of your portfolio into physical gold and silver. Start with a short phone call, and they can have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your 401k or IRA. So please call or text them right now. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you. Call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Again, that's 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.